Good morning, fourth grade. I'm super duper excited that you are able to watch this video and the link worked. That's awesome. So if you are here now, I need you to actually get a couple of things so you can be ready for our little lesson here. First thing is a notebook or a piece of paper. Both are good. And then the second thing is a pencil or pen, some sort of writing utensil. In writing, I don't usually say erase, and here's the reason. You want to remember, because a lot of times our brains are moving so fast when we're writing that you want to erase, and then by the time you're done erasing, you've forgotten everything. So what I'd like you to do is whenever you make a mistake, even if it's a drawing, I want you to just one line through it. Don't scribble, because we want our work to be neat, and one line is much neater than a bunch of scribbles. Even an X is just fine, even if you make a mistake, whatever, okay? I want you to remember those mistakes that you made, because then you don't have to waste your time remembering what you did say and you didn't say. So again, a pencil or a pen, just make sure you don't erase. Got it? All right, pause the video, go get those things, and then come back. All right, you should be back now. Okay, so today we have learned that a personal narrative is a story about you. You are the number one. And so the story that I'm going to tell you today, we practiced on another story, but the story I'm going to tell you is one that's kind of happy and kind of gross. So what I've told you to write a story about or think about is tell me a story about a time when you felt happy. Okay, so that could be when you're riding your bike, that could be when you made cookies for your mom, that could be when you ate a cookie with your mom, that could be when you went on a walk on the beach, that could be on Mother's Day. Maybe you did something on Mother's Day that made you feel happy. So this story is a time when I felt happy, and also a time when it was really gross. But sometimes gross things or scary things make you laugh, and then you end up feeling happy. So what I'd like you to do is to take your notebook, and we're going to divide it up into 3 sections: a beginning, a middle, and an end. Watch how I do it. Hold on. So I'm going to cut it up in the middle, and I did this just like that, and on the side I'm going to write beginning, just a B, and a middle, and an end. Okay? Then I'm going to cut the sections just like that. So just making it into thirds, 1, 2, and 3. And because we are 4th graders, we need to make sure we have a couple of things. One, always, always, always dialogue. Okay? It's super important to have dialogue in your stories, because many times you're thinking something which counts as dialogue, and sometimes you hear things which counts as dialogue as well. It's a special kind of dialogue called onomatopoeia, like squish, 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 said the mud on my feet, or blah, said my little sister as I scared her around the corner. Those types of things are all dialogue, forms of dialogue, and onomatopoeia, and those are really important as 4th graders to have in our stories. And I'm going to show you a way to do that really easily. So here's my story. Here's my story. One day, well, actually you should know something first. My little girl is only about 4.5 months old, and she and I share the same birthday. Pretty neat, huh? And we were giving her a bath. My husband and I were giving her a bath, and this was a couple weeks ago. And she's all ready for her bath, no clothes, no diaper, you know, just ready for her bath. And my husband is holding her. Next thing you know, he's like, ah! And you'll never guess what she was doing. She's peeing. She's peeing all over him. Just peed all over him, all over the bathroom floor, everything like that. And I came in thinking something was terribly wrong. Nothing was wrong. Well, except that she peed on him. And I just laughed and laughed and laughed, and he actually laughed too, but he just was shocked and kind of grossed out. And my little girl was just so happy, and it was a time we felt happy even though something gross happened. So that's an example of a story, of a personal narrative. Now what I just told you is what I'm going to write and what I'm going to plan. So what happened in the beginning? What time was it? The TED, remember? The time, the emotion that you felt, and the dialogue, the TED. So first I'm going to draw a picture. So I circled the B, so for the picture, so I'm going to draw me, and I'm going to make sure there's no holes in my head, and my hair's kind of longish, has a little bit of curls. And I started off feeling happy. That's my emotion. That's the E part of TED. And what time? It was in the evening. And so I'm actually going to use a label. So in the evening, okay. So just like that, and I haven't finished my picture yet, so hang on, but I wanted you to see that my label, my note, I want to try and get 3 notes in each section. So here's my note, and I'm going to finish my picture real quick, and all I'm going to do is put a label for me. I'm going to draw a quick little picture for my baby girl, and I might draw a little tub too. So here we go. I have my legs, and I'm going to put me and E, and then my husband is a bit taller than me. He was also happy. He started happy, didn't end happy, but he started happy. And here's a little baby. Aw, cute little baby. Alright, and I'm going to put William, because that is my husband's name, William. And then Aurora. Aurora is my daughter's name, Aurora. And then I'm going to put another note on the side. Bath time. And this is something I said to her, so this is this is part of my D. Okay, so I have in the evening, that's the T, the emotion, I'm happy, we feel happy, it's just another night, and I say bath time. And I put it in quotation marks. So see how I do that? I have my picture on one side to help me remember who was in the story, the characters. And then on the other side, I make a note. Now, I only have 2, so I'm going to try and think, maybe it was a normal day like any other. I could write that. That's a good way to do it. You could use my idea if you need to. That'd be all right. It was a normal day. Oh, but it wasn't a day. It was an evening. So normal evening, like any other. And notice I didn't actually write day. If I would have written day, I would have crossed it out. So let me give you an example of that. So if I made a mistake, see where I made a mistake over here with day? Well, because I don't want the word day, I'm just going to cross it out. I want to remember that I wrote day so that I don't do it again. Okay, that's what mistakes are good for. They remind you not to do it again. So then now the middle. So in the middle of my story, Aurora is being held by her daddy, and she's still happy. She's just a happy, happy girl. And I'm going to draw Mr. Glumac, William, holding her. I'm going to try. And he was just sitting kind of crisscross in the bathroom, kind of waiting for me. And then I'm going to draw something. There's a little bit of, you might be able to say, Mrs. Glumac, that's kind of gross. That's okay. You can tell me I'm gross. I won't be offended. I bet you can imagine what that stuff is. It's P. And what I'm going to write there? P. Yep, it's P. It's baby P. It's okay. And you know what he said? Oh no. So I'm going to add that dialogue. So in the middle of her bath, so right before her bath, so time, emotion, and dialogue, what time right before her bath, and I just made a mistake. So I put quotation marks too early, so guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to cross it out. Cross it out just like that. And what time? What time of the day? right before her bath. Right before her bath. And then what did he say? Oh, gross. That's what he said. So I'm going to put my quotation marks. Oh, gross. And then I came back to him and I said, what happened? What happened? So I'm going to put that in quotation marks because that's what I said. What happened? Question mark, exclamation point. Okay, what happened? And then he said back to me, she peed on me. And I'm going to write that. She peed on me. I hope you're laughing as much as I was laughing because I was seriously laughing like really hard. It was super funny. Alright, so I have even 4 things. I have 4 things in my middle. That's pretty good because if you think about an Oreo, this would be the cookie, and the good stuff. Okay, so the middle is the good stuff, the juicy details. Okay, and then I laughed hysterically. I'm going to write that as another point. Okay. Laughed. I laughed hysterically. And I don't know if that's spelled correctly. Honestly, I don't know how. So I'm going to put a little SP for spelling right next to it. Here, let me show you. Do you see my little SP? That means I don't know how to spell it, and I need to double check that one. Okay? So, and then at the end, cleaned it up. She got in the bath. So I'm going to draw a little baby in her bathtub. Oh, and I forgot something. Did you catch what I forgot? Here, let me show you. Uh-oh. Who are those people? We can't tell because there's no label. So I'm going to say Daddy this time because he was Daddy at that point. And then Aurora. Aurora, baby Aurora. Daddy and baby Aurora. See, I fixed my labels, made sure I had them. And then I'm going to put Aurora. And I'm going to draw a little bathtub around her. And I'm going to even write in my labels at the end, I'm going to say bath time was very needed. Because it really was. For both Daddy and baby. Bath time was needed, and I'm going to put an exclamation point there. Now, right now, I'm not worried about capitals or really not a ton of punctuation. I just want to remember what I'm saying and what I did. And so, see, even as an example, do I have a capital there? No, but I'm remembering that this was like bath time was really needed. I'm going to add to this sentence. I'm not just going to use this. I'm going to add to it because I want my writing to be really good and I want people to be able to picture it in their minds. Okay, so bath time was needed. I need 2 more points in here. Bath time was needed. She got in her jammies. Daddy was okay. Daddy ended up being okay, so I'm going to write that. Daddy was okay. Mommy laughed a lot, and that's what I'm going to write. Mommy laughed. Laughed. And that's a hard word, isn't it? Laughed. L-A-U-G-H. It's a really hard word. Laughed. And if I couldn't remember how to spell it, I put the S-P right next to it. But I can. I remember that one. So here's my plan. Pretty easy peasy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, and the only thing missing is my title right now. And I think I'm going to keep thinking on my title, and when I do my final copy next week with you guys, I think it'll just be plenty of time to think of a good title, think of a catchy title. So now here's your goal. I would like to see your amazing faces right next to your plan with a picture. So kind of like this. Or maybe even a silly face like that. And I'm going to send you a K-mail, and I would like you to Watch the video if you need to again to get an idea, and sometime this week I would really, really, really love to see your beautiful faces and a plan. It only took me, with talking a whole lot, about 10 minutes to do my plan, okay? And I would really, really love for you to borrow some ideas, and I would really, really love to share your plans next week. There's some plans afoot. So please, please, please go ahead and watch this video at your leisure. Look at your K-mail. Now come back to the Class Connect session and give me a thumbs up, a smiley face, or if you're really confused, give me a thumbs down and a frowny face. Okay? See you in a second.